In this video, we are going to talk about top 5 skills that will improve your self-esteem. So before starting, please like this video and subscribe to this channel for our future updates. The way you feel about yourself, or the perception you have of yourself, is referred to as your self-esteem. Everyone experiences periods of time when they are depressed or have difficulty believing in themselves. However, if this continues for an extended period of time, it may result in complications, such as mental health disorders such as depression or anxiety, among others. Some of the symptoms of low self-esteem might also be a signal of underlying mental health issues. Basically speaking, self-esteem refers to your perception of yourself and your talents. It can be extremely high, extremely low, or anything in between. Despite the fact that everyone experiences self-doubts from time to time, having low self-esteem can leave you feeling uneasy and unmotivated. Your self-esteem may be affected by several factors, some of which you may be able to identify, while others may remain a complete mystery. It is common for people to have low self-esteem as a result of their life events, particularly what happened to them as children. It is, nevertheless, possible to improve one's self-esteem at any stage of life. Here are the top 5 skills that will improve your self-esteem. So let's start. Number 5. Use positive affirmations in the right way. Positive affirmations are a technique for implementing the concept of, you are what you think. The concept is that you flood your head with happy thoughts until you begin to believe them yourself. Because it is straightforward, it is a popular method of boosting one's self-esteem. However, there is one significant drawback. Positive affirmations tend to make people who already have low self-esteem feel even worse. This is because anything that is said as an affirmation, such as, I am beautiful, or I will be successful, can often be too contrary to our own existing beliefs, such as feeling ugly or lazy. Changing, I'm going to be successful, into something more manageable, such as, I will persevere until I succeed, is something Winch recommends. Demonstrating true talent and performance in areas of our lives that are important to us might help us build our self-esteem. If you take pride in your ability to prepare delicious meals, host more dinner parties. If you're a good runner, you should consider entering races and training for them. In a nutshell, identify your primary strengths and seek out chances and occupations that will allow you to capitalize on them. Number 4. Identify what you're good at. According to Winch, when we demonstrate genuine skill and accomplishments in the areas of our lives that are important to us, our self-esteem grows as a result. If you're a decent runner, sign up for some local races and put in the time and effort to train for them beforehand. Learn how to cook if you're interested. More dinner gatherings are something you should try to do more of. According to him, the key is to identify your major abilities and talents, and then seek out opportunities, and even vocations, that allow you to put them to use in a meaningful way. As well as bad elements of yourself, it is recommended that you write down positive parts of yourself, such as your skill to play a sport or wonderful things that others have said about you. In times of depression, take a glance at these items to remind yourself that you possess a variety of beneficial characteristics. When you first start out, you will notice yourself slipping back into old negative patterns, but with constant effort, you will begin to feel more hopeful, and your self-esteem will begin to climb with it. Remember to enjoy yourself whenever you experience a good emotion or complete a worthy task, yet, don't be too hard on yourself if you find yourself relapsing back into negative thought patterns. Simply get back up and try to see the situation with a more optimistic frame of mind. After a while, you will realize that your self-esteem is progressively improving without you even realizing it. Number 3. Learn how to accept compliments. When we feel bad about ourselves, it's hard for anyone else to drag us out of that rut. Winch says we tend to be more resistant to compliments at these times, even though this is when we need them the most. He says instead of shrugging off compliments as lies, you should set yourself the goal of tolerating compliments when you receive them. Even if you feel uncomfortable, and you probably will, it'll be worth it in the long run. The best way to stop yourself batting compliments away, he says, is to prepare set responses to certain things, and force yourself to use them until it's automatic. These responses could be simply things like, "Thank you," or "How kind of you to say." The impulse to laugh off compliments will eventually fade, which will be a sign it's working and you're starting to believe the nice things people say about you. One way to improve your self-esteem is by choosing to believe compliments. When someone pays you a compliment, it's easy to tell yourself that the person doesn't mean it, or that they're mistaken. However, it's important to remember that compliments are freely given. The person giving you a compliment didn't need to say anything at all, and most wouldn't say something if they didn't mean it. Knowing you have low self-esteem can be empowering in situations like this. If you doubt the compliment that someone is giving you, try to remember that it's probably because you have different beliefs about yourself, which aren't necessarily true. Believe that the person complimenting you is telling the truth and thank them. Gradually, you may find it easier to both accept and believe compliments. Number 2. Don't criticize yourself. Avoid kicking yourself in the shins while you're already down. Unfortunately, Winch believes that this is what we will most likely do. When our self-esteem is low, we have a tendency to erode it even further by being harsh on ourselves. Winch believes that self-compassion is the best way to counteract this. When you notice your inner critic starting to speak, ask yourself if you would say similar things to a close friend in the same situation. Isn't it likely that this is the case? As a general rule, we are considerably more compassionate toward our friends than we are toward ourselves, so think again the next time you start reminding yourself all the things you have done incorrectly. According to Winch, doing so can help you avoid future damage to your self-esteem, giving you more time to concentrate on building yourself up instead. The reason that self-esteem and criticism are so tightly linked is that if you are insecure or lacking in confidence in any way, you may take the harsh criticism you receive as truth and believe that you are a victim, which may be extremely painful. When you receive negative criticism, on the other hand, it can cause you to question your own abilities. Number 1. Remind yourself of your real worth. If your self-esteem has taken a hit, Winch believes that this is the most effective technique to restore it. Alternatively, if you're rejected by someone you've been dating, compose a list of the characteristics you possess that make you a great companion, such as loyalty and emotional accessibility. You should write down everything that makes you a valuable employee if you are not promoted at work. For example, being reliable and dedicated are 2 qualities that you should have. Briefly explain why you believe the trait is essential and why you believe others would appreciate it in a paragraph or 2. Winch recommends performing this exercise every day for a week, or whenever you feel the need for a pick-me-up, according to her. When it comes to building self-esteem, Winch says the process is difficult and time-consuming. However, she believes that the benefits are priceless if done correctly. You'll notice that you're forming healthier emotional patterns, and that you'll be able to bounce back more easily when you encounter setbacks in the future. Consider that your initial opinions may not be the only way to perceive a problem, therefore, verify that your initial thoughts are correct. Consider whether your point of view is consistent with the facts and logic of the scenario, or whether alternate explanations for the circumstance may be more credible. Be mindful that it can be difficult to detect mistakes in one's own reasoning. Even though many of our long-held thoughts and beliefs are really opinions or perceptions, they can appear normal and factual to us. What do you think of our video? Let me know in the comments section below. If you enjoy this video and want to hear from me again, be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go. Thanks for watching.